This video offers an overview of how to use the Cal EOC 360 EMMA application. What is EMMA and who may use the EMMA system? EMMA stands for Emergency Management Mutual Aid. The purpose and goal of EMMA is to provide emergency management personnel and technical specialists who support the disaster operations of affected jurisdictions during an emergency to assist with response and recovery for the whole community without imposing additional financial burden on the impacted jurisdiction. Your Cal OES region representatives offer formal training on the EMMA process and system. This brief training does not cover the information required to be an EMMA coordinator. It only covers how to use the Cal EOC 360 system to submit and respond to EMMA requests. Please contact your Cal OES region representative. Let's take a quick look at creating and responding to EMMA requests within our new Cal EOC 360 environment. The agenda for this training, we'll get an overview of Cal EOC 360's EMMA application, including default views, making requests and adding positions, responding to requests, reviewing and choosing candidates, a demo and process walkthrough, and then what's next and support information. This is the application for operating areas to request supplemental staffing, for other OAs to respond to those requests, and for the requesting OA to review and process the candidates. The EMMA flow. This is the basic flow of an EMMA request. There are three parts: the request with needed positions, the responses from other OAs, then choosing the best candidates. In Cal EOC 360, this process is set up using widgets. The widgets are oriented to allow step-by-step response. First, add the request and the positions needed. From that screen, the widgets change and other OAs can respond. From the responses screen, you can find, review, and choose the candidates. Each step opens the next step. Creating a request. Creating a request has two parts. The first is the setup or context, which includes who you are and that your jurisdiction is authorized to request staffing help. The second part of the setup is to add needed staffing resources or positions. The first part, the request, is for basic information: who's making the request, their contact information, who will authorize and under what kind of agreement, and the check-in and working conditions. Think of this as the context or a framework for the positions you need to fill. Let's take a look at how to create a resource request. Here I'm looking at an incident detail page. If you're working from a specific incident, as we are here, start from the incident's widgets. Find the EMMA widget. Click on the triangle button at the right side of the title bar. This brings up a pop-up window to create a new EMMA request. We'll show you in more detail in just a few minutes. Complete the first part, the request setup, ending on a request detail page. From here you can add an ICS position. Think of this as adding a job opening to your OA request basket. When adding a position, identify the position's title, how many people you need, what tasks they will fulfill, and the time frame when the position starts and ends. Also specify any special skills, clearances, or credentials, equipment needed, and working conditions that are specific to this position. Let's take a look at this. Once you've created the request, you'll find a new widget for positions. Look in the upper right corner of your screen for the Add Position button. Note that EMMA is a little different from other widgets in that there's no New button widget in the widget title bar. Look in the upper right corner for the next step. Respond with a candidate. The next step is for other operational areas. When they have someone that can meet the needs of your operational area, they can respond to your need on the EMMA response page. Note that you need to be in a different operational area than the one making the request. You cannot use the system to request resources within your OA. Once again, I'm on a position detail page, and the position is described on the left side. A new response widget is on the right. Use the Create Response button, upper right corner, to add your candidates. You can add up to 10 candidates. Review and choose. Once the originating jurisdiction has a response or two, take a look and see if there's one suitable for your needs. As you review the responses, the Choose button in the upper right will allow you to select the candidate that you're currently viewing. Dashboards. From the Cal EOC 360 homepage, the EMMA icon takes you to 3 EMMA dashboards for positions, requests, and an overview. The first dashboard is a list view of EMMA positions. The big colorful circle shows how many EMMA positions are being requested right now. It's a placeholder for a display that might be more helpful to you. The middle column that's highlighted is a list of the requested positions. To the right of the highlighted column is the quantity requested, the number of responses offered, and the number of candidates selected. To the left are columns for the status of the requests and positions. If both request and position statuses are open, the position is open for a response. If you're interested in seeing more about a listed position, click on the far left, the very first column. The second tab, EMMA Requests, shows a list of the requesting jurisdictions, links to the incidents for better situational awareness, the county requesting, and the status of their requests. Note, not the status of the positions. The links on the far left column go to the original request, the context for the positions listed on the first tab. The third dashboard tab is a list overview of request status with links back to the requests and incidents. There are filter options for the request status and for the EMMA request creation date. On the upper far right corner is a refresh button. There's a little placeholder graphic on the right. Is there something we need to show here? We're in another Earthquake Hancock. This one is Earthquake Hancock Alpine. Alpine County has a really nice EMMA request that's fully ready to go. So this 00009 is the EMMA request. Let's take a look at it. Remember, part one is who's asking. Here it is. Who's asking? The requesting jurisdiction. What's the jurisdiction's name? What's the 24-hour phone number? What is the incident that this is attached to? What's the county? If you're creating on behalf of another county, you can click that. Who's asking? The EMMA coordinator. Primary points of contact. There's a couple of fields for that. Is this by mutual aid? If it is mutual aid, that's just the answer. If it's by a post-event agreement of some kind, then you need to specify what's included in that post-agreement. This one is by post-event agreement, and so we're including salary, benefits, travel, and lodging. If it's mutual aid, you leave this blank. And then who's authorizing this? Some of this information comes from the person that's logged in. Peter Peacock is authorizing this EMMA request, and here we need some more information. The check-in location for this whole request, this is the containers. The check-in location may be your EOC, whereas each position may check into a different location. Where would they check in? What's the cell phone or the 24-hour phone on this one? Here's a map of where we need to go. What are the expected working conditions? If we have an earthquake, do we even have power? Is the heat turned on? Gets cold here, lodging nearby, EOC at the park. And then working conditions, same as requested. This is the basic request. So that's the context. Here is now EMMA positions. This is part two of the EMMA request. So here's EMMA positions. We've got two. We've got one that's filled, the heavy equipment removal. We've got that done. They were looking for one and they got one. Total selected one. Here's this one, which is open. They're looking for area security. They've got 0 responses. And let's take a look at this one and see what the position looks like.
Just for everyone here as well, right? This is just a training to really show you how to navigate through the process within the application here. You would still need to go through the actual formal EMMA training process, with your region rep before you get access as an EMMA coordinator. So that process has not changed, similar to the old Cal EOC system. With regards to when the permission gets added, or when you should or shouldn't get added to as an EMMA coordinator, or needing to switch between the two, you would go through your regional rep, and then they can make that change for you to switch between the two.
Here's the position details. Again, I'm just going to go over the overview of these different areas. Position details are basically, what are you looking for? What's the position that's being requested? Is the position open, or is it closed or something else? How many of them do you need? Do we have any responses or selected? Well, no, not yet. Day shift or night shift? What kind of tasks will be performed? Start and end date. Are there any special skills, security clearance, or CSTI credentials that are required? What kind of position equipment is needed in this case? And then working conditions, are there any special concerns or hardships that need to be attached here? That is the first step, create this container, the Emma request. And then the second step is create an Emma position. Let's move to Zach for the response.
Alrighty. I'm at the homepage again with all the icons. So say that you're in a position where, hey, a nearby county or somebody is asking for some help and you might have some people to be able to help. Just go right over here to the Emma icon and it will automatically bring up the list that shows the Emma positions. So this means the Emma positions that are requested. The Emma requests, that's the bucket that those positions go in. So the one that you just created and then put a position into that you need, that's what those requests are. The dashboard is just kind of like another way to view this stuff. So the dashboard just kind of shows, all right, here's sort of all of the requests, not the position specifically, but you can just do some filtering quickly with this. Click refresh to be able to get it to show the most recent stuff. So the requests, this shows you those requests, those buckets. So each one of these may have multiple positions in them. But if you're just trying to say, all right, I just need to see who is asking for stuff, the positions is where you want to go. That looks like this. So you have the position ID, the Emma request, both of those are hyperlinked. The request, that will take you to that bucket. The position ID will take you to that position specifically. If you notice, we have multiple things going on here. We've got filled, open, and whatnot. If you want to just see the opens, you can do that. Just switch to what it is you're looking at with your list view. So I'm going to just switch to opens, and now that is all that I'm seeing is open positions. So let's see. I see that there's an area security that's needed here. So let me say I've got somebody for that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the position ID, and that is going to open up all of the information that has been entered about this requested position. So what is it that's needed? Any type of security requirements, stuff like that, CSTI level, things along those lines that are helpful for the person who is offering. If you say, yep, I've got somebody that's going to fit the bill, right here in the upper right is where you want to go, this create response. This is essentially saying I have someone, I want to create a response to this to let them know that I have someone for them. So whatever the jurisdiction name is, a good phone number, however many of the candidates you have that you want to offer up. So the more that you put in here, the more places you'll have to fill in down at the bottom. Whoever the Emma coordinator name is, their email, a lot of stuff you have to put in here, but it's all just to be able to help out to make sure that all of the contact information is good. So a good jurisdiction point of contact. All right, now the next thing, request authorized by. This is going to have your name in here, and essentially just put in a title, and that's kind of like you signing it in a way. Now you have the actual person. So this right here, this Emma position candidate information, I only selected one, so that's all that's going to be here. If you selected more, after you fill this out, there's going to be a second one of these down here, third, fourth, so on. So this is where you put in the person who would actually be going to help out the other county. So let's see, wanted area security. So we're going to provide SM33 here. All right, now, this is sort of a checklist, the next thing that's going on. You don't actually have to fill it out, but it is helpful. It kind of makes sure that you're checking to make sure you've looked at everything, that this person is a good candidate, that they can fulfill the requirements, and they know about what they're going into. So the time available is specified Form 1A, perform task list Form A. That's just the stuff that you filled out previously. So we're going to say yes, security clearance, yes. Now it asks what type, able to perform the tasks, should hope so. Required equipment, aware of working conditions, all of that fun stuff. Any extra comments that you throw in there. And then we've got any appropriate experience and whatnot, where they're coming from, and how long it's going to take them to get to the location they're going. So this, it's kind of helpful to put like two different options in here, depending on what you know. So if all you know is the amount of time it's going to take them to get there, cool, put that in. If you happen to know the time that they are going to be there, like you already know they're going to be there, throw that in. Whatever's going to be the most helpful. That's why it's kind of left open, just whatever makes sense. And then an emergency contact and any special pay considerations. A lot to fill out, yes, but it provides all of that information, and then you just click save. And that now adds that response right here to the position that was requested.
One thing too is we are adding email notifications. So as you send a response, yeah, the if I remember correctly, the requester will get email notification that the response has been submitted, and then the same thing if a candidate is selected. So that way there's notification that goes across the board within the application versus having to sit and monitor as it comes through. So you as a requester, you get email notifications as submissions are received.
From there, then you're able to, a person is able to go in and select that person if they fit the bill. And Judy's going to take you through how to do that.
Choosing from the responses. I'm in Sacramento County, and I've placed a couple of requests. Let's take a look at the incident. Here in recently viewed, it's Earthquake Ivan-SAC. This is the incident I'm working with for today. And here is my Emma requests. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. I've got two in here. They're both for Sacramento County. They're both open. Let's take a look at this first one and see what's going on. This is for Tahoe Park, Sacramento County. Here's the incident. This is the request. So let's scroll down. We have two positions that are open. We want a volunteer coordinator and we want a communications specialist under this request. Ooh, look at this. We have one response for each of these two positions. Here are the two responses that I see in this widget for Emma responses. One's coming from San Joaquin County and one's coming from Alpine County. Excellent. Let's take a look at one of these. Now we're looking at an Emma response, and you'll notice that up here in the upper right corner, because we're looking at the response candidate, we have a choose button. So let's take a look. Here's the providing jurisdiction information. This is San Joaquin County. Thank you very much. Emma coordinator is Moneybucks. Jurisdiction point of contact is Looky Lou. Availability, they are available. No security clearance, which is okay. CSTI level credential level 2, that's awesome. And here is Fred Savage from the VOAD. GoGoZoom is the emergency contact, which is Fred's spouse. This all looks good. Working conditions, none, no particular things. This is a VOAD donation for the experience. I'm going to go ahead and choose this candidate. Let's go hit the choose button, and here we go. We get the choose dialog box for candidate 1. It's Fred Savage, has a CSTI credential, has a cell phone. Let's choose yes on this. We can add new comments if we'd like. These little tiny hash marks down here, if we have more comments, then we can stretch our comment box to fit what we need. I don't have any comments to add here, so I'm just going to hit save. And we have chosen our candidate. Let's take a look at the home button. We'll go into the Emma. This is a different way of looking at it. So I'm going into the Emma application here, and I'm Sacramento County. Here's Sacramento County. Let's take a look at this one. This is the request, and this is the position. Now, I don't respond to the request. I actually respond to the position and the candidates within that position. So here's the position. This is the communications specialist. Alpine County is offering Sergeant Cheery Little. Let's take a look at this response. Remember that I'm choosing the response. Here's the providing jurisdiction information, Alpine County, awesome. Emma coordinator for Alpine County is Emma Emmeline. Jurisdiction point of contact is the same. Availability, yes. Security clearance, oh, Secret Service, all right. CSTI credential, not mentioned. Here, Sergeant Cheery Little and Sam Vimes as the emergency contact information. Also looks good. Has a security clearance, 10 years experience. Okay. Let's go ahead and choose this candidate as well. Here we go. Yes. And then we'll hit save. And we have just responded to our candidates. I would get on the phone or send an email right away and say, thank you very much, Alpine County. Here's the information I would use to contact them and say, yep, send Sergeant Cheery right away. And then we're good to go. What did we learn in this EMMA training? In this brief training, we got an overview of Cal EOC 360's EMMA application, including default views, which are called dashboards, also making a request and adding positions, like Form 1A, and then responding to those requests, like Form 1B, and then reviewing the responses and choosing one of the candidates. We also got a demo and process walkthrough, and we'll see what's next and get support information. If you have questions, please let us know at rsi.support@caloes.ca.gov.